Hey, what's up, guys? I made my first major mistake as a box truck owner operator, and I want to take the time to share what I did wrong. I mean, I guess it's partially my fault, uh, partially the broker's fault who helped me set this load up. But most importantly, I want to put this information out there just so like anybody who's new to the business, like myself, I'm 1 month into doing this, just so you can have an understanding of what to be careful for, and so you can avoid getting stuck like I did right now. So pretty much, I booked a load from California to Colorado, and the weight of the load itself was listed at 8,000 pounds. My truck weighs 13,000 pounds when empty. So it's simple math. In a box truck, you could do a maximum of 26,000 pounds with a Class C driver license, a non-commercial driver license. And that's what I have. I have a non-commercial, so I cannot go over 26,000 pounds. It is against the law for me to do that. So my truck weighs 13,000 pounds empty. The load that I received that was listed on the board was listed at 8,000 pounds, 12 pallets. So the load itself should have been, the total gross vehicle weight should have been 21,000 pounds. So, I got by a few weigh stations. I guess they didn't catch it, but this particular weigh station here in Colorado, they weighed my truck by my front axle and my rear axle. So my front axle came out to be 11,000 pounds, and my rear axle came out to be 18,200 pounds. So my gross vehicle weight was 29,200 pounds. So I was overweight 3,200 pounds. Now, let me just start off by saying that this was like my biggest fear that this would happen, or that, my biggest fear actually was even getting a DOT inspection. So what happened next is, there's always a sign at the weigh station that either tells you to pull forward to return to the highway, or to pull to the side to submit your permits. So I parked on the side, spoke to the officer, showed him my paperwork, and of course he was like, "Oh, you don't have a Class B license?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You're over the legal weight that you can carry with your experience as a driver." And it was a pretty lengthy process. And then because of that, they also were required to do a safety inspection on me, as well as check my logbook. So this is why it's important too. I was nervous about the logbook because I think honestly, when you're new to it, you make mistakes on the logbook. You might go over an hour, or might use a little bit too much personal conveyance. Fortunately for me, I was being very, very good this last week. If they would have checked me the week before, I think I would have been in trouble. But fortunately, I got my act together. My logs look great, and my vehicle that I have, always do your pre-trips, and my vehicle looked great too. So they gave me a little sticker saying that I passed the safety inspection with flying colors. So it's like, I got my little gold star for that. But at the end of the day, I still violated a rule. I'm new to this, so I didn't really have that knowledge, but I'm sharing this mistake. So if anybody else is getting into the box truck game, you know what to be careful for. So like, if a broker, this broker was giving me some weird energy too. Like, I don't know, he seemed kind of odd. Like, he really booked this load pretty fast, and I don't know, my gut feeling even told me, and I should have double checked. But I learned from the officer that what you should do after every time that you book a load and you're loaded up, what you should do is go to a certified CAT scale, or which you can find at any like truck stop like Flying J, Lubs, and to make sure you weigh yourself with the load in the back of your truck to make sure that you're under 26,000 pounds. And if you're not, then you can call the broker and tell them, hey, you need to unload some of this weight. You guys overloaded me. So yeah, I guess the moral of the story is not all brokers are going to be honest with you. Some brokers are gonna lie to you. Like this broker lied to me saying it was only 8,000 pounds. I'm finding out I'm loaded with 14,000 pounds. Or 13,000 pounds. You know, and it's very important too. Not even just for like avoiding a citation, but also for safety. You know, the officer, when he was inspecting my truck, he pointed out how my back tires were starting to crack a little bit because my vehicle was overloaded. And this is a huge risk. Like earlier I noticed when I was driving on a slope that was a 6% grade down, and it was for 6 miles I was going down this slope. I noticed my brakes burning up a lot more than they usually would. And, part of this is because I'm overweight by 3,000 pounds. My vehicle is not meant to take that amount of weight. So having that extra weight, it could have put my life in danger, if my brakes would have given out, and let's just say I wasn't nearby a runaway truck ramp, and maybe I'm by a cliff or there's nowhere to stop, my brakes burn out. Who knows what damage could have been done, So it's a huge safety thing. I understand why the FMCSA does what they do. I'm not upset about getting this violation. It definitely sucks. It's a rookie mistake for sure. But I'm actually glad it happened to you, because it's an important lesson for me moving forward on, how I could be better prepared to make sure the situation doesn't happen again. Now I know after I get loaded up, and I feel like the load might be too heavy, to go to a certified CAT scale and weigh myself. I've been communicating with the broker right now, so I'm stuck at the weigh station. I can't move my truck until I either A, unload at least 3,200 pounds from my truck, or B, I can hire a CDL driver to finish the trip for me. So I talked to the broker who I set the load up with, and he said that he was going to send another driver here to offload 2 pallets. And pretty much I have to check in with the officers or check my weight again before I can depart, to make sure that I'm legalized, which is my vehicle is now below 26,000 pounds after they offload the 2 pallets. So yeah, this is what happened. This is like my 3rd week in business now, so it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought. Like I thought I was gonna get done. In my mind, I didn't know exactly what would happen in this situation, and like I said, it was my biggest fear. Like I thought I might get thrown in cuffs, and my company gets deactivated and all types of other stuff. But fortunately, it wasn't so bad. The officer was pretty friendly. Younger dude like me. They did make me do a safety inspection, which they do very basic things, like they need to check the turn signals on your truck. They need to make sure your brakes work. They inspect the undercarriage for any cracks on your vehicle. They make you turn on your low beams and your high beams on your truck. They make sure your emergency lights work, so your lights have to work on both the front and the back of the truck. They also make you put on your windshield wipers to make sure that they function, of course, and make sure you have fluid that can come out of them. And the officer also made me park my vehicle on a slightly sloped off ramp that they have, and they put tire blocks underneath. Made me release the emergency brakes so they can check the air pressure that my brakes can hold. You have to make sure the air pressure is correct. I had to pop open the hood of the vehicle so the officer can inspect the hoses. And everything checked out. So that's what the officers are going to check too. So I'm assuming that by default, whenever you get caught in this situation, they're going to do a safety inspection, unless you've already received your little golden sticker like I did. I guess it's valid for like 2 months. So I guess that's a bright side. I don't have to do one for 2 months. And they're going to check your logs. So make sure you have a compliant electronic logging device. Ironically, another truck driver who is also in a box truck got pulled over the same time as me. So another guy is going through this exactly the same time as me, but this guy, he's in deeper trouble than I am. So the other driver, he's in the same situation, but he's using paper logs. And he said that his logbook malfunctioned, but he did not report it to the FMCSA. So just a side note, I learned something else too. If your ELD or electronic logging device malfunctions, make sure to report it right away on the FMCSA website, because these officers are not dumb. They're going to check your bill of lading to see where you picked up the load, to make sure it matches up with what your paper log has. And pretty much what happened was, this guy, he got caught falsifying on his logbook, because I mean, he traveled over like 2,500 miles in a span of 3 days. So he picked up the load on like the 16th. Today's the 19th, and he's already done 2,500 miles. I mean, the maximum miles you could do if you're going as fast as possible in a truck is maybe like 650 miles. You know, so he's falsifying his logs. I'm not sure what penalties he's going to get, because I've already left the office, but he's going to get some hefty fines. He's going to get some hefty fines, man. I think it's also going to affect his safety score, which is another important thing. You don't want to mess with your safety score, because then brokers aren't going to want to work with you. You know, your MC or your authority, it has complete visibility to brokers, you know, and if they see you're doing stuff like that, it's dangerous. You know, you can't be driving more than 11 hours each day, or more than 60 or 70 hours each week, depending on which cycle you've chosen. So once again, guys, you know, a very important lesson for me as a new business owner, a new box truck business owner. Definitely going to be more careful now. You know, it's not so bad, you know. Citation, I mean, I could be open and honest, it only cost me $48, but it's not the citation that really costs, it's the time lost. So in this business, time is money. You know, every hour I'm not driving costs me money, because that's money I'm not making. And if you guys know me, I'm using a rental truck right now, so I'm losing a day. I'm losing almost a full day of driving, which cuts out my profit. So what I'm trying to do, you know, I'm trying to press the broker to see if they'll give me some extra money, because it is partially their mistake. You know, I could hold this load hostage technically, because they don't want to, because they lied to me saying that the load was 8,000 pounds, when in fact it's 13,000 pounds, and it's causing a delay for me, and it's put me in a dangerous situation. So I'll probably do a follow-up video, let you guys know what happened. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, drop it down in the comment section. If you found this video helpful, shoot me a like. You know, I'm new to the business and I'm learning as I go. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys. And if you have any questions, you know, comment below. I'm more than glad to answer, and thank you guys for watching.